Hi guys, my name is Marlene McCohen and welcome to Parrot Tip Tuesday. Today we have something very special, and that is a Cody the African Grey rescue update. So for those of you guys who have been watching, this is Cody. As you can see his progress because he's now on my shoulder, and I'm not scared at all. He gives kisses and everything. I don't know if you guys could hear. The only thing is he kind of likes to rip hair out of heads. That's okay. Anyway, guys, so here's the story of Cody. For those of you guys who don't know, I got a phone call saying, can you please help me with my bird? And in case this wasn't clear before, I met Cody 3 years ago in a different state in New Jersey. I just happened to be visiting my uncle. Some guy came over. It was a week after George, my African Grey, died. I was devastated. We were talking about it, and he said, I have a bird. And I said, you do? And he said, yeah. I go, is it friendly? Is it this? What kind of bird? He didn't know what kind of bird. He didn't really know much about the bird. And so we're like, can we go see it now? So he took us all to see the bird in his warehouse, which was Cody. And Cody was like locked in a cage. Now, Cody had been in that cage for years at that time. So we took him out, we tamed him very quickly. We only had a few hours with Cody. We showed the guy what he should eat, how the bird should be, even just to leave him out on the cage. What the guy did with Cody after that, I am not sure. I have no idea how Cody has spent his time out or not out of the cage. However, 3 years have passed, maybe 2.5 years, and I guess the guy has moved to California, called me up, and said, hey, I have a bird, can you help me? I said, oh, I got 4 birds, I could help you, but I got 4 birds, I'll see if I can find someone. And he said the bird is outside in the cold and he's not allowed into the place that I live. And I was like, oh my God, I gotta get this bird. So we had a miscommunication, as I told you guys before. And when I was going to the gym later at night and I was driving there, I'm like, it's freezing. I'm like, I'll go get the bird myself. Like, I'm going to get the bird. I called him. I said, I'll come over. Whatever you want, I'll come over. I'll get the big cage later. And I came and I got Cody. So for those of you guys who haven't been watching Cody's progress, I have filmed all that. It's in the Cody files. And that is a playlist on my YouTube channel. Now, for those of you who have been watching, let me give you some new updates on Cody. You saw my sister find out about Cody. You saw Cody was out on top of his cage, and you saw that Cody even likes head scratches. Now, this is pretty amazing, guys, for African Greys. He's so friendly. Like, he's completely come around from the time that he kind of like, you know, struck at me in the cage. He's so friendly. He lets a lot of different people scratch his head and pet him, which is completely unbelievable. I mean, somebody before this guy had this bird had to have tamed this bird, or he's just so desperate for love. And guys, you know what I do? Like, I literally cuddle him under my blankets, and he just sits there and cuddles with me. And my goal is just to keep him warm so he'll never be cold again, and he likes it. So I think that's pretty amazing for an African Grey. Not, of course, I don't mean in the way that they can't be tame. I just mean in the way that sometimes they're a little finicky about being touched. Now, for this tip, I want to tell you guys something. Although you saw him come out on top of his cage, that little carry-on cage that I had brought, I had taken him up to my room to be in the spare cage, so he'd be in the bedroom next to me. For some reason, once Cody got in that cage, it was really difficult for me to get him out. Birds, even though they're friendly when you're hanging out with them and you got them that tame, sometimes once they get back in their cage, they're very territorial, and you really have to get the bird away from the cage in order to tame him. Every time I put my hand in there, it's just the way that cage was shaped, he would strike at me and he would get kind of upset. But I knew that he was such a friendly bird when he was off of the cage. So here's the most important thing I'm going to tell you guys today. It is more important to figure out how to get the bird out of the cage, even if it's a few seconds, a tiny bit of discomfort for the bird, than it is to be like, oh, he doesn't want to come out, and leave him alone there forever, or until you think the bird just decides to come out and forget about him. So this is what I did. I took a nice little blanket, soft. I always love these soft blankets. He's mad at the blanket now because he remembers. and I just kind of scooped him up, no drama, and just pulled him out. And as soon as he got out of the cage, I just let him walk and be by himself on top of the cage. And would you guys believe it? As soon as he was on top of the cage, he stepped up on me. I put him on my shoulder, and he was like a completely different bird. Next day, I went to get him out of the cage. I showed him the blanket. He stepped up on it himself. And then the third day, he didn't need the blanket at all. So I'm not saying it's always that easy, but I do want you guys to notice one last thing here. This bird could have been tamed before. This bird could have had a previous owner that loved him and tamed him and gave him all this affection where he learned about head scratches and love. That's possible. If that is what happened, then this poor loving bird has been locked in a cage for years and years and years, with the owners thinking that he'll bite them, telling me that he's bit them, telling me that he's dangerous, and they just didn't have the right tools to try. Another thing to consider, he could have been a bird that was never tame and been in the cage for so long that just with the right amount of affection, he came around. Those are really the only two options, but either way, we caged an amazing little being that is craving love so bad. And when I tell you that Cody is the most loving bird, I mean he's the least temperamental out of almost all of my parrots. He loves to be cuddled, he loves to be hugged, and he's just a lovely, lovely bird. So guys, what I want you to learn from this is you may have that kind of bird locked up in a cage or know somebody with that kind of a bird, and we have to unprison them. So that is the most important thing, right, Cody? That I want you guys to know. Yeah, Cody's very happy here. That is the update. Keep following him. Please take that tip. Please remember, get the bird out of the cage. It's always easier to tame them, get them away from the cage. That's what I have for you today, along with this update on Cody. Please keep watching. We have so much more Cody specials. Thank you guys. We're at the 10,000 subscribers. A movie is coming out on Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. And that would be Tuesday the 3rd, no, Tuesday the 2nd actually. So yeah, that'll be our New Year's surprise. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, both at Marlene McCohen. And don't forget to share and subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye.